In 1916, after a British Army chaplain noticed a grave marked an unknown British soldier, he got the idea for what would become the United Kingdom's Tomb of the Unknown Warrior. That memorial was dedicated November 11th, 1920, 2 years after the armistice that ended World War I. The idea took hold and spread among other wartime allies, including France, Italy, and the US. On November 11th, 1921, the US Tomb of the Unknown Soldier was dedicated in Arlington National Cemetery. On September 29th, 1921, the War Department ordered the selection of an unknown soldier from those buried in France. The selection process was carried out by the US Quartermaster Corps in cooperation with the French and US Navy. 3 weeks later, a Quartermaster Corps team exhumed 4 bodies of unidentified Americans from each of 4 American cemeteries in France. Each was examined to ensure that the person had been a member of the American Expeditionary Forces, that he had died of wounds in combat, and that there were no clues to his identity whatsoever. After mortuary preparation, the bodies were placed in identical caskets and shipping cases. The reason for this elaborate proceeding was to ensure that the one unknown soldier chosen would be truly a random selection, as this unknown soldier would represent the many other unknown soldiers. This followed the practice used by the other allies in their own process of selecting their own unknown soldiers. On October 23rd, 1921, all 4 caskets arrived by truck at the City Hall of Chalons-sur-Marne. Army Sergeant Edward F. Younger of Headquarters Company, 2nd Battalion, 50th Infantry, American Forces in Germany, was given the honors of selecting the unknown soldier. An elaborate ceremony followed, where Younger, carrying a spray of white roses, presented by a Frenchman who had lost 2 sons in the war, led the procession. As the French band in the courtyard played a hymn, Younger walked around the casket several times before placing the roses on one to indicate his selection. Younger then saluted the chosen unknown American soldier, after which the US and French officials came forward to pay their respects. The roses that had been placed on the casket remained there, and were later buried with the unknown soldier in Arlington. Following the ceremony, the casket of the unknown soldier was carried in a horse-drawn caisson through Chalons-sur-Marne to the railroad station, where it was placed aboard a special funeral train provided by the French government and taken via Paris to Le Havre. Along the way, more French and US units and dignitaries honored the unknown soldier in an elaborate and dignified fashion. Finally, on October 25th, 1921, the unknown soldier was carried aboard the USS Olympia back to the US, arriving at the Washington Navy Yard on November 9th, 1921. On hand to receive the body of the unknown soldier were all the service chiefs, the Secretary of War, and General of the Army's John J. Pershing. The procession, led by the 3rd Cavalry Regiment, accompanied the horse-drawn caisson containing the unknown soldier to the Capitol Rotunda, where more honors were bestowed by dignitaries, including President Warren G. Harding, and a crowd of American citizens. On November 11th, 1921, 8 highly decorated World War I veterans, handpicked by Pershing himself, escorted the unknown soldier to Arlington National Cemetery. Since 1921, 2 other unknown soldiers have joined the World War I unknown soldier, one from World War II and one from the Korean War. The selection process was similar to the first. At one time, a 4th unknown soldier, representing the Vietnam War, was entombed there as well. However, that service member was later identified, exhumed, and reburied in his home state. Soldiers were first assigned to guard the tomb of the unknown soldier in 1926, to discourage visitors from climbing or stepping on it. Today, guards maintain a 24/7 presence, standing watch over the unknown soldier at all times, even in inclement weather. Soldiers who volunteered to become tomb guards undergo a strict selection process and intensive training. Each element of the routine has meaning, with the number 21 repeated to represent the highest symbolic military honor that can be bestowed. The changing of the guard takes months to perfect, but only minutes to perform. The routine is characterized by practiced precision, performed by sentinels, who are members of the 3rd U.S. Infantry Regiment, known as the Old Guard. There has been a sentinel on duty in front of the tomb every minute of every day since 1937. There are over 6,000 unknown warriors buried at Arlington National Cemetery from the Civil War through the 20th century. The Tomb of the Unknown Soldier represents all missing and unknown service members who served and made the ultimate sacrifice. They not only gave their lives, but also their identities to protect our freedoms. We will never forget.